Hi, today I want to talk to you about how to create a course map out of your KnowledgePath course. Before we get to that step, first you should be completing the course competency matrix that I have up here on the screen. The first step of which is listing out KnowledgePath assignment titles as well as constituent concepts that go to each KnowledgePath assignment. Then you would align your KnowledgePath assignments to the lesson objectives for each module that it aligns to. And finally, you'd align lesson objectives to course competencies. Once you've filled out the course competency matrix, then you would go to your mapping tool, whether it be paper and pencil or Bubble or Microsoft Word, and you'd begin to draw out the maps of your concepts, one map again for each KnowledgePath assignment. Once you've done that, you need to start thinking about turning these individual maps into an interconnected course map. The idea is that students will develop interrelated skills and knowledge across the full course. I have an example here on the screen of a course map from English 114, which is our critical reading and response course. What you're going to see is that there's a large map here, but there's color coding. Each color represents a different KnowledgePath assignment from this course. For example, this teal color here is week 1, whereas salmon over here is week 6. Something else you should notice is that these assignments are all interrelated. So one assignment essentially builds upon an earlier assignment. Building a course map like this relies on the same type of thinking that you used when you built your original assignment maps and connected concepts. The only difference is, when building a course map, you're connecting concepts from across assignments rather than within assignments. As such, you should be asking yourself the same two questions. First, do I need to know the concepts in assignment 1 before I can best learn about concepts in assignment 2? And second, does knowing concepts in assignment 2 mean that I implicitly know something about the concepts in assignment 1? If the answer to both of those questions is yes, then we need to make a connection on our map. I've been working on an example here of History 114, Early American History. So let's take a look at my KnowledgePath assignments. I've chosen to do just 2 assignments for the ease of demonstration. Normally a course, though, would have more than 2 KnowledgePath assignments. So, applying my subject matter expertise, I know that there are historical developments that occurred during the era of westward expansion that are thematically connected to the founding principles of the Constitution and our republic. For example, the spread of slavery, which shows up over here in the westward expansion assignment, was a great debate that raged all the way back to colonial times. At the Constitutional Convention, in fact, there were a number of compromises made around the notion of slavery, such as the Three-Fifths Compromise and the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. These compromises made for sticky debates as more territories came into the United States over time during the era of westward expansion. Folks on each side argued for and against the extension of the institution, often calling back to the same arguments that were made back at the Constitutional Convention. Therefore, I'm building this argument here that the knowledge of the Constitutional Convention is necessary to understand the developments of the era of westward expansion. Further, I would need to know the historical debates about slavery that occurred at the convention to have a full grasp of similar debates that resurfaced in the mid-1800s. Having satisfied our 2 essential questions, this means that there must be some kind of formal connection between these 2 KnowledgePath assignments. When building the connections between these assignments, it's important to figure out exactly which concepts I'm going to use to do the linking. The link is basically what tells the KnowledgePath system and our students that this is the key concept that you must master before you're ready to learn about concepts in the next assignment. Essentially, it's the gatekeeper concept. In the case of History 114, I view the Three-Fifths Compromise and the 9th and 10th Amendments as critical to understanding the issue of the spread of slavery. Likewise, understanding the spread of slavery implicitly means that I have had at least some contact or some understanding of these earlier compromises from Assignment 1. With those 2 essential questions satisfied, I need to then draw a connection between the Three-Fifths Compromise, Amendment 10, and the spread of slavery. So I'll do that now. Excellent. So now as I scroll out, I can begin to see that Assignment 1 is a prerequisite to assignment 2 in this course. The connected co-requisites in this case are the 3/5 compromise and amendments 9 and 10. Those are prerequisite to the spread of slavery. One last point to note before closing this video. When I connected these concepts, the 3/5 compromise and amendments 9 and 10, to the spread of slavery, what I'm also saying is that prerequisite knowledge of these concepts that happens in assignment 1 also impact my understanding of the spread of slavery. Be certain that your decisions follow this line of reasoning, that the connecting concepts and the prerequisite knowledge all lead into an understanding of that future concept in the next assignment. In other words, answer the essential questions that we've been posing. If the answer is yes, make the connection. If you have any questions about how to make your course map, you can always contact the course builder assigned to your course development project.